"21st Century Entrepreneurship" with Martin Piskarik.
I truly believe that burnout is not caused by too much work. That seems to be quite a controversial statement, but it's a hill that I'm willing to die on. It's a hill that I'm willing to really fight for. And I look forward to telling you about actual root causes of burnout, because I truly believe that as entrepreneurs, as founders, as people leaders, as service providers, product providers, we're supposed to thrive. We're supposed to love the way we contribute. We're supposed to love to use our talents, to serve the markets, and to experience burnout is just the biggest disservice to the world. And I want all of you to thrive. My name is Yana Carstens. I am the founder and executive coach of Realign and Thrive. And I focus on helping leaders and founders and people managers really avoid burnout by connecting to the truth of who they are. And to lead from the center of who they are and not from the top. I truly believe in authentic leadership and values-based leadership, and that is ultimately the antidote to your own burnout and how you stop burning others out. Because ultimately, I want to help you create success without burning out. So here is how I define burnout. So burnout can happen in different ways. And most people think of burnout as in, hey, I don't have the energy anymore. I'm apathetic to my work. I'm constantly feeling sick. I just don't want to be doing whatever it is that I want to be doing with zest. Burnout can be emotional. It can be physical. It can be mental. But I define burnout as just like this lack of vibrancy, lack of ability to enjoy and to be present and to be grounded in the work that we're doing, whether we're leaders, whether we're contributors, whatever it is that we do. If we feel that rest is somewhat a reward for success, that's a critical sign that burnout is on the horizon, because rest, I don't believe, is a reward for success. It's actually the foundation to success. Imagine driving your favorite car. I'm suspecting it's somewhat of a sports car. It's very fast, it's built for speed, it's built to win, it's built not just take you from A to B to C, but it's meant to take you places that you really enjoy. Now imagine you're always driving the car in the 5th gear and you never take it to a rest stop. Or there's a dashboard in the car and all of these signals are coming up and you're just like pushing through them, you're ignoring them. Sometimes you might be annoyed that they come up. So that's what it's like to be on the road to burnout. So all of us founders, entrepreneurs, I believe we're high achievers by nature and we're built for speed. And that lack of awareness, or just like the lack of knowing, like, hey, I have these signals that are coming up in my body, in my heart, in my mind. Like there's all of these signals that we push through, that we ignore, that we actually numb because they're a nuisance. But just like with a car, if we don't take care of it, even if it's built for speed, if we don't stop to refuel, if we don't take a rest stop, if we don't take it out for maintenance, if we don't know what the car truly needs to like keep going, it's going to crash and burn, and it's going to stop on the side of the road. And same with us. If we're not aware of the signals that are pointing us, that are telling us, hey, we need to pause, we need to re-energize, we need to take a break to take care of our body, of our hearts, of our minds, eventually we crash and burn. And that is what burnout feels like. There is a framework that I have developed over the last 6 years, heavily invested in. It has been tested with hundreds of people, including myself, that is an integrative approach. And it involves recalibrating the body, realigning the mind, reviving the heart. Recalibrating the body is really learning what are all of these stress signals? How do they show up specific to us? Like what's showing up on that dashboard that we might be ignoring, that headache, that belly ache, lack of sleep, anxiety, rashes, all of these things that when we go to the ER or when we go to the doctor, they say like, hey, just take some time off, right? Like, what are these signals that we can catch early on that signify to us that, hey, there is some perfectionism popping up. There is some people pleasing. There may be some hyper responsibility at play. So we want to learn what those signals are and then realign the mind to what's really true, because all of these signals point to certain traits that are being activated in us, such as hyperachievement, maybe perfectionism, people pleasing, hyper responsibility. So those are all of the traits that make us really great at what we do, but also are create these blind spots that lead us to experience burnout. So with realigning the mind, we really want to look at it. What are these disempowering beliefs that are making us go so fast on autopilot and make us feel guilty to pause? And we want to replace them with empowering beliefs. So think of it like you're on the sailboat going to the success island, and there are anchors that are keeping you from really getting their full speed. That's what it's like when all of these traits tend to be hyperactivated. But we want to remove those anchors and we want to put wind behind your sails. That's what having more empowering beliefs that accompany these traits come up. Now, the best part about really re-energizing yourself and making sure you're on that track, you're going full speed, but you're using your body, your mind, and heart on those things that truly matter. And that's what we want to connect you to your core values. And that's what reviving the heart really is. So the top 3 ways to really learn your own body, how you operate, and how to orient to what really matters is by recalibrating your body, realigning your mind, and reviving your heart. And that's how we go from survival to not just making it as founders, as entrepreneurs, but also being able to thrive as a result of it. So here's why it's really important when we start addressing burnout to not just do it at a top level. See, most programs, most ways to avoid burnout and to address burnout are superficial, unfortunately. Take a vacation, take some mental health days, or, go to the spa, or my favorite one is just stop being so stressed. But how often does that work? It's happened to me several times. I even ended up in the ER, and after all the testing, it's like, hey, you're just stressed, just take a vacation. But here's why, even though it's well-intended, it really doesn't work. For example, let's say you are experiencing the stress. You are in that car that's like on the side of the road right now, and you go take that vacation. But what's happening really is like you're physically away. You're wherever you are, Mexico, Croatia, Aruba, wherever it is. And while you're physically in that location, your mind is still going through your to-do list. Your mind is still wondering, are these employees doing what they need to be doing? You're still wondering, hey, is this client going to close? You're still wondering about the lawsuit that might be happening. So while you're physically away, cognitively, you're still working. You're not closing that loop. And the same way with delegation, a lot of times when we have so much to do, especially as founders, as entrepreneurs, and we're so used to doing things on our own that once we start delegating, even though we hire a team and delegate it off, it takes quite some time to actually start trusting and to not want to redo the work yourself, not want to actually do it all on your own. So in that way, again, cognitively, you're not disconnected. And it's that cognitive overload, that internal pressure is that needs to be addressed. And typically what's at the root of that is not you just physically being away from the work. It's actually these inner drivers, these fears that are actually keeping your mind from going. A lot of my clients, especially who tend to be like female, like there is also unfortunately this high empathy people pleasing element that like, hey, what are they going to think if I take some time off? Are they going to like me still? Are they going to think I'm incompetent? Like there's all these what ifs that create this emotional tension. So while I truly am for take that time off, go on that vacation, but if you don't know how to disengage, you're not really treating overwhelm at the root. So going through this R4 method really helps us identify, hey, what are these anchors that are keeping me from disengaging in an effective way? What are all of these ways that are keeping me from saying no without guilt, without shame? Like, what are all of these ways that they're stopping me from just enjoying how far we've come versus thinking nothing, this is not enough, things are imperfect still. And then if we're not ultimately connected to our core values, like if we don't know why we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing and how to communicate it to others, ultimately we're always going to be chasing something that's put on us from the outside. So going through this R4 method really helps us create clarity, how we function, why we do what we do, how we can effectively rest, and how we can actually start setting goals and missions and communicate them in ways that truly have authentic meaning. So for somebody who has been experiencing this overwhelm of stress and who still wants to push through and ignore the burnout symptoms until they end up in the ER, let's say, or the relationships are so strained that they are going on vacation but still find themselves not able to disengage. After we go through the R4 method, what I find my clients experience is, hey, we're going on vacation and my intention is to rest. My intention is to realign. My intention is to be present. My intention is going to come back, not more tired, but actually rejuvenated and having energy, not just energy, but zest for life back, so that disengagement happens by intention. You're not automatically pulled into work fires, but you can delegate effectively, feel good that people are taking care of things, knowing that, hey, when I come back, if something is off, I know how to address it then. So all of a sudden we come into the driver's seat. So now that those fears are completely gone, but we know when to take that anchor up. We know where the anchor is. So you go from being automatically pulled into all of these things that are pulling your attention from all of these fears and these traits, like being in the driver's seat, to them being in the back seat, and you're in the driver's seat. So if you want to feel more confident, if you want to feel more at peace, if you want to feel more in charge, if you want to feel less guilty or no guilt, without shame, like taking charge of your well-being, the R4 method is what's going to get you there. For more insights on how to apply all of these little tidbits around the R4 methodologies, I highly recommend that you sign up for my newsletter. It's called The Letter, and it's sent out every month. And I have been told it's like an injection straight into the heart of insights. There is not just information, but lived experiences, applied approaches that you can actually start applying to your life right now and start to see a difference. So go to my website at realignandthrive.com/newsletter. And once you sign up, you will receive a letter directly from me every month.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.